Now, why 6 amps to 10 amps breaker for light? The breakers are rated in amps. Power is equal to current times voltage times power factor. We want to get the current. Since breakers are rated in amps, the current is equal to power over voltage times power factor. Example, we want to use, since we are talking about lighting now, we want to use 10 bulbs of 100 watts each. The power is equal to get the power in watts, which is 10 bulbs times the 100 watts of that bulb, which give us 1000 watts. Now, to get the current now, is equal to power over voltage at 240 volt supply. That is the supply, the voltage that supply. That's 240 volts. So now to get the current, which is the current is equal to the 1000 watts that we calculated earlier on, the number of bulbs times the wattage of the bulb. 1000 watts over 240 volts, which give us 417 amps. So the number of current that is used for this 1000 watts is 4.17 amps. Now, to know the breakers that we are going to use, we must also know the cable size. The cable size capacity, the cable size we want to use is 1.5 mm cable. And we know the current capacity of 1.5 mm cable at ambient temperature of conduit is 14.5 amps. Now, we have got the power, which is 1000 watts. We have got the current, which is 4.17 amps, that this 1000 watts can use for lighting. Now, the cable we want to use is 1.5 mm, and the current capacity, the current that can flow through the 1.5 mm without having any heat or damage or anything is 14.5 amps at ambient temperature. Now, breaker selection logic. How do we select this breaker? First, the breaker must be slightly higher than the actual load current, which is must be slightly higher, a bit higher than the actual load current, which is approximately 4.7 amps. This one you are looking here, it must be slightly higher than this. But it must also be lower than the safe limit of the cable. It must be lower than the safe limit of the cable, which means we are going to be in between this 4.17 amps and 14.5 amps. So that is why we normally use a 10 amps breaker to protect the cable and trip safely when it's above that 10 amps in order to protect this cable. That is how we do the calculation to know that we are going to use between 6 amps to 10 amps breaker for lighting. Thank you.